We're twins!
Winning.
For those of you not watching, me and Jamie are playing the Dress Alike game. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome all. This is Total Spotfest. Jamie Faulkner over there, JJ Brownlee talking to you. Coming back at you live. Post-Mania, post-Supercard of Honor, post-GCW Collective, whatever number they are, wrestling out the wazoo, and a Dynamite last night, earlier tonight. There's so much wrestling, I don't even know what day it is. Fuck me.
And post-indictment. Let's go. Okay. Anyway.
Whoa, get spicy. So,
Hey-yo.
Our friend Heather is in the chat. She's going to talk a lot about the person of which we are adorning T-shirts here tonight. So anybody in chat, just be forewarned. We love you, Heather, though. Keep it up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate that. For those of you listening in on us, thank you for all your support. We do appreciate it. You can always join the conversation hitting us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest. If you are watching us live right now on YouTube, join the conversation, get in that live chat. If not, just drop a comment down below. Like, subscribe while you're down there. It really does help us out quite a bit, honestly. Algorithms and things. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, do all the stuff. That's my pitch.
And if you don't, you'll get put in a goddamn lion tamer.
That's probably the one thing that you didn't get this past weekend was a lion tamer.
I got everything else, though. That's for damn sure.
There was a lot. Well, we got a lot to come here. We're not gonna waste a lot of time. We're gonna get right into it because we got a lot to get ready for this weekend as well.
Yes, we do.
Anybody that's close by or near to Denver, we will be in Denver this weekend for Lucha Libre and Laughs this coming Friday night. We are excited. I'm not excited about waking up at like 6 a.m. to pick up Jamie and drive across nowhere, Kansas.
Yeah, I get the ass part of that.
You get the ass part. It's my car we're taking. You get the ass part, and there's a reason why. And I thought about this the other day. It's like, well, why? My dad asked me. It's like, why are you making him drive the crap miles? And I go, because you're more than likely to get into an accident in a bigger city, and if that happens, the person who owns the car should probably be driving it because.
That's fair.
You can say whichever you want, but if you're in the opposite seat, you're going to be like, oh, I probably could have missed that person. And if it's your car and you're in the opposite seat, you feel a little bad. So I'm just like, if there's going to be a fender bender, let me be the driver. That's my thought. So.
And don't worry, I know the rules. You can't get behind any kind of truck that's got timber in it. Okay, safe final destination. We're good.
Yeah, you to this day cannot not book it around one of those trucks when I see one.
Thanks, Final Destination 2. Yeah.
All right. Well, Heather wants us to get to the big story from tonight. So let's not do that yet. I'm sorry, Heather. We're going to talk about this past weekend, WrestleMania weekend. Jamie, did you watch Mania?
I actually did watch WrestleMania. Like, so here, I didn't watch it live because
Okay.
Megan had softball, which she did fairly well. She had one of the worst games I've ever seen her play, but then she bounced back nicely and had a great weekend. Not that, I'm an honest father and like I don't think my kid is like God's creation of softball. She sucks from time to time, just like I do, so it's fine. But got to watch it. I saw all the Twitter things going ape shit about it. I'm like, okay, this seems pretty cool. Night 1 was amazing. Night 2 was okay, but I hate to say it, the hype everybody was talking about with Night 1 was real.
I watched all of WrestleMania. I watched it live. Watched it, through a watch party we had. Some friends online. One of my buddies, he's a bit of a Fed stan, but he was saying a little bit, this is probably the best Mania he's seen, and I'm thinking, 17, man.
You can't mess with 17. Like,
anybody
who tries to say that, it's you've not watched wrestling very long.
He's younger than us, so I was like, I will give you that. But here's what I will say: it's probably the best Mania that's happened since they've gone to 2 nights.
Oh, well, that's only been 3. So
only
yeah,
been 3, but it's also in a good hot while. I mean, Night 1, you're right, was fire. And I was not expecting it to be that good.
Rhea Ripley and Charlotte tore the house down. You and I were talking about it beforehand. As much as I absolutely hate the person as a human,
crazy to say this.
Logan Paul can fucking wrestle and it makes me sick.
Yep.
Like that match was fire.
Logan Paul has not had a bad WWE match. And I hate that statement because I can't stand the guy, but
it hurts. It hurts, right?
But that's what a good heel is, really, Shane blowing his quad was amazing.
I know. Only if he just sat there in the side of the ring, and the next thing you know, Batista comes out, and then they do an over the top rope thing. That would have been like
that would have been better. Yeah, but that was funny. I mean, even if that was, I think a little bit disappointed in the women's like 6-way,
that left me.
It was predictable. It was fan service. It made my heart hurt a little bit because it's like, you're burying EO. Don't you bury EO? Don't do it.
I mean, she's probably the best wrestler they have on the roster, but I digress.
I kept saying, and my buddy's like, they're going to break up Damage Control. I go, understandable. Give me Dark EO from NXT. Give me that.
Like, the Lotus? Yeah. Dark Lucio.
So and I think that the Sammy and Kevin versus the Usos match, I knew it would be good. Okay. I just knew it'd be good. Usos can wrestle. Sammy and Kevin, fantastic. But the emotion, if you've even been partially paying attention to the bits of the Bloodline story, you could feel that during the entire match. I love Rhea versus Charlotte, but I think because of the emotion involved, Sammy and Kevin versus the Usos was my match of Mania.
Oh, same. Totally. I am in complete agreement with you. Not only did it have that level that we were expecting, like I was expecting it to be here. And because of the emotion, because of this long play storyline,
which WWE does well.
They do. So here it is. This is where it ended for me. Like, it exceeded my expectations, and I am kind of a bougie wrestling fan, as we all know.
No, not you.
I know, right? And this exceeded my expectations completely. And Sammy is one of the best wrestlers out there. Kevin, I love Kevin. Usos, I just want to see the Bloodline end now, like more than anything in this world.
Well, that leads me to night 2. I think the star of night 2 was, and our friend Heather agrees with us here too, it was definitely Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew, in my opinion.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
But they also were flying around a little bit. Interestingly enough, you know who produced that match?
Who?
Joseph Park, the man formerly known as Abyss.
Perfect.
He's doing a hell of a job, man. I mean,
That's awesome.
yeah, people dog on him because he was a bit of a color guy. He always wanted to bleed and do the stupid shit when he was wrestling, but he could put on a match because that match was, oh my god, Gunther. First of all, he's just a special guy, really. He's so unique as a wrestling character because he doesn't really have a gimmick. It's just old school wrestler guy. But man, he can go.
No, he's kind of got a late 1930s, early 40s German
Eastern
European
European
guy, if you get what I'm trying to put
on.
down.
Okay, I'm with you. He's Austrian after all.
He's not 16 going on 17.
The match was great. The crowd was really behind Sheamus.
Oh yeah,
and because this is the one
Sheamus.
title he hasn't won, and he kind of floats between this heel face thing going on they've been doing. But Gunther got the victory. That was my favorite match of the night. The other stuff, I mean, the Asuka Bianca match, it was okay. I was
expecting it to be way better, and it actually under-delivered for me. It was, but did you hear about the girl, the contortionist dancer girl? Like that hit hard. Like her mom died that day, but she's still there dancing.
I mean, there were feels like the entrances for that were. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
The stage was ridiculous, by the way, too. God damn, that stage was.
It seems like Senior McMahon was making up for something, if you know what I mean.
The mustache. I can't get over this mustache he's rocking now. Cody versus it all culminated. Cody versus Roman Reigns for the title. Going into it, what was your pick? Who did you think?
Cody, all day, every day.
I thought Cody too. I thought they were going to this is the way to really put a death nail in the bloodline.
Yeah.
And then even when I made that pick in my little online poll that I did, I go, you know what? They're not going to drop both the tag titles and Roman's titles in the same event. I should have picked Roman. And I was right and for the third straight WrestleMania, your last image is Roman holding the belts, walking out victorious. 5th out of the last 10 WrestleManias. And he was actually been involved in 7 out of the last 10 last events of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to believe it would have been him.
It should have been him. Like, I understand the booking idea that you say that, hey, they probably won't do that, but they absolutely should have. Just think of what it would have done. Then you wouldn't have this whole Cody Brock Lesnar thing. Like, I guess the kiss of death with Brock Lesnar is shaking his hand. I saw that. Like, everybody shook his hand, has gotten that F5 from the guy.
I mean, and I've read that the play is that they're gonna, because they beat the crap out of him. He lost at WrestleMania. They beat the crap out of him on the Raw after Mania, which was put on 100% by Vince McMahon, is what I've read, and people hated it.
Well,
we'll talk about the big story in a second. But
no. What's his name? Oh my goodness. Tyler Black. Jesus.
Tyler Breeze.
No, Tyler Black. That was his name in Ring of Honor. I've totally escaping. He's married to Becky Lynch. That guy.
Oh, Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Seth Rollins. I guess.
Wow, you went way back.
Yeah, that's how my brain works. So literally, he is getting ready to cut a promo, and producers come running out and tell him what to say, as he, legit, right when he's in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about old tricks. But the rumor of what I read is that, this is their version of, they're going to give, one string banjo for sure, but they're putting Cody through his version of hard times. Right. And next Mania, WrestleMania 40, hardworking town of Philadelphia, that would be when he would ascend. And I'm like, so if that's true, you basically taken your next year worth of pay-per-views and made them worthless. You're not going to break up these titles. You're going to keep them on Roman. If that's what it is, I don't know. Everybody was not happy. Now, there was a bunch of people that actually came to the fence and were like, hey, so many changes happened because we were on the road for a long time with Mania and this and that, and they sent us home. So that's why they changed so many matches and did that. I don't buy that for a second.
Me either. Not one bit do I buy that. Like, if Vince is back in control, and I've already said this previously, I'm not going to be a WWE watcher. Like, period. I watch WrestleMania because it is WrestleMania. And, like, people are going nuts about the matches. And I live for the matches. And I understand some of the storylines because, thank you, Twitter. But I'm not going to watch WWE as long as Vincent K. McMahon is affiliated. Like, well, he's a piece of human trash, and everybody seems to be like, "Oh, he paid for it." No, he just got paid for it.
Well, speaking of which, yeah, what you're referring to is the big news that happened the day after and before Raw was the announcement that WWE was indeed sold or merged. So they were merged. They were bought by Endeavor, which hilarious name play involved here.
Yes. What do you think they're going to do for future endeavors?
Endeavor is the company that owns UFC. I didn't see this coming, but when it happened, I go, okay, that makes sense because the whole play with WWE, as much as we want to, WWE and AEW are different entities, not just in, kind of the audience makeup or their age. WWE's been around forever. AEW is 5 years old, right?
Yeah.
But in a little bit of their style, So because of all those factors, WWE, which previously had been a public traded company, no more. It's all about media rights. It's the game with what? NFL, college football, college basketball, Major League Baseball, media rights. That's the name of the game, right? And that's why I thought personally that, Disney or Amazon would be the two contenders for it because they're about streaming and media content. So media. Well, this makes sense too because now you've got one conglomerate that owns the UFC and WWE. It kind of makes perfect sense.
And is also working with Disney a lot.
It is. We're more than likely going to see WWE on ESPN coming up here.
And Disney.
And
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, which is great.
I bet it goes to Disney Plus.
Eventually, I think it will. When the Peacock deal runs out, I think you're just going to see that whole section basically get internet copy pasted over here.
Yeah. Presto changeo.
But with that, so they're no longer public. Endeavor, they called it a merger, but Endeavor owns 51% of WWE. So they bought WWE. But Vince McMahon apparently is back running the show.
Terrible. Well, can we not talk about something that's not terrible?
Let's talk about other stuff that happened this past weekend. Did you watch Supercard of Honor?
I did not. I only caught pieces of it.
I caught the majority of it, and my God, was this Supercard of Honor? I'll tell you, Tony Khan can book himself some ROH pay-per-views because he held out Viking over his commander, was lucha orgasms happening all over the place, just making up stuff as they go along. It was unbelievable. You had the unfortunate, break of Dante Martin's ankle in the completely bonkers 4-way, ladder match, which turned out to be a new title match. They had new belts all over the place. New women's belt, Cena retained. They had new tag team titles belt, which, they had in that 4-way match. The Lucha Bros won. Dante Martin's going to be okay, but yeah, he definitely broke his ankle. Don't look at the replay if you're squeamish, guys. I'm telling you, don't go on Twitter and look up that clip. It is not good. And then the big thing is that big emotional matches. Jay Briscoe did not get the TV title, and Eddie did not get the world title. But they were very well written matches, you know?
Yeah.
It was good.
Awesome.
There's a bunch of other wrestling too. We're not going to get in too deep of it. You know, there you can go on.
I mean, Bushi was on GCW. That was...
GCW just kills it. They had a Maki Death Kill versus Bussy.
Yes. That was great.
Which is one I definitely recommend checking out if you're going to pick and choose some GCW matches there. But Kota Bushi, all sorts of crazy stuff going on. So let's go back to, you know, let's not beat around the bush anymore, because our friend Heather is probably steaming out of her ears wanting us to talk about Dynamite, right?
Yeah. So I figured what we would do is start in inverse order and end with the beginning last.
Absolutely. Let's do it. And let's give it them. Yeah, let's just.
I kid, of course. So we're going to start off with the very first thing. And this was a match that was actually made in Kansas City to be on tonight's Dynamite, and it actually kicked off the show. And this was Ricky Starks versus Rock Hard Juice Robinson, and the match didn't happen at all.
I was surprised by the instantaneous nature of, like, they didn't waste any time getting to it either.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like, as soon as Starks made his entrance, here comes Jay White, baby. All 29 and a half of his abs were showing. And the crowd went nuts. Both of them, you know, both him and Robinson beat the hell out of Starks, and you got the two sweets. And yeah, looks like the Bullet Club is officially in AEW.
So what do you think? Okay, first of all, Jay White still in the Bullet Club? Because he was kind of kicked out, right? They did the typical thing with him, no, he's here. He did the guns. They did everything. He had the Bullet Club music.
Yeah,
because he's still in the Bullet Club.
I mean, he's not. He's like Bullet Club adjacent at this point. Probably
it's the American Bullet Club. You can have, who knows?
It's America. I'm not kicked out till I say I'm kicked out. That's what's going on there. Okay, and Heather, already with the smoke here. I want to see Jay and MJF promo at each other. I'm foaming at the mouth for that.
Keeping your pants
first.
Okay.
First off, Heather, if you're foaming at the mouth, that means you probably have rabies, and it's not because of you wanting to see this promo. So make sure you go to the doctor for that, okay? But yes, I think that would be absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for Jay White's first official promo in AEW. And who do you think he's going to go after first?
Well, I mean, you start off with him jumping Ricky Starks, so that makes sense. You go with that, you know?
Okay.
I think, though, his first target, it's so hard to say because you got all the elite tied up with the Blackpool Combat Club right now, right? And they're kind of friendly-ish. Adam Cole, to me, sounds like the perfect route, but they're buddies, and not just in real life. I mean, they're also non-shoot buddies, right? So I don't know. I mean, the possibilities of him going up on matches is just, I started thinking like him versus, Keith Lee, him versus this. I started just going to town of like fantasy booking him, which I could actually do for real. Miro, bring back Miro and have him do that. I mean, there's so many options there. What do you think? What do you think is the plan?
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Stradamus.
So, pretty simple. I don't know what just happened. My computer just turned off. There it is. Yeah, I think I just broke stuff. All right. Anyway, it's live. Ladies and gentlemen, pretty simple here. Jay White will go after Orange Cassidy and win the international belt because Jay White gets gold.
It kind of goes with your long-standing hope/dream of having the international title elevate a little bit too. So that makes a lot of damn sense, Mark Stradamus.
I know.
Well, it's very interesting. So the announcement came by Tony at 7:03 p.m. Central Standard Time. So literally 3 minutes after the top of the hour, he came out like literally right away, and 3 minutes after the top of the hour, All Elite, Jay White's All Elite came out, like wasted no time. A guy who everybody thought was going to debut in WWE this past weekend,
didn't.
I was surprised. I mean, I did kind of call this a while ago, not gonna lie.
I mean, so here's the thing. It turns out WWE didn't want him at all, which surprises the hell out of me.
I think probably the only person who wanted him was Triple H.
Yeah, and since Senior McMahon is in charge, that's not a thing now. And yes, I'm going to continue calling him Senior McMahon.
Yeah. So this is an easy spot for him. Really. It makes sense in all the fashions. So let's see where they go with it. But Jay White is officially in AEW. Thank you, Jesus. Not wanting Jay is a ludicrous thing. I don't know why they wouldn't want him. And my guess is I said this before, but my guess is they don't know who he is that well. They're like, the fans aren't going to know who he is because he's got famous in New Japan, right? And most of WWE's fan base is not the Mark type of fan base, right?
Are you saying they're not the most cultured wrestling fan?
I'm saying that the type of wrestling that they follow is not the same type that, they don't look at a lot of the indies. They don't look at, AAA and New Japan and all that stuff, right? They look more towards WWE entertainment style wrestling, right? So they might be familiar with some stuff in like Impact and AEW a little bit, but I don't think they go much beyond that. Is my take on it. And that's fine. If you like wrestling, but that's my fine.
Yeah, so I would consider them Bud Light drinkers. You know what I mean? Like WWE's Bud Light drinkers.
There's a Yinling joke coming here, guys. Brace yourselves.
No, actually no. But they're Bud Light. Like they just drink Bud Light. Anytime they're out, I'll take a Bud Light. I'll take a Bud Light. I'll take a Bud Light. And they're like, well, we don't have Bud Light. And then they're like, what? No Bud Light? Like they don't understand. They can't comprehend there are other beers. And hell, even alcoholic drinks that have so much more flavor and so much better to give you. And literally, they had the sexiest beer of all time. It could be Yinglings. It could be, but it could be like the greatest drink, a Mai Tai. He's New Zealand, right? It could be a Foster's, whatever.
That's
like
Australia,
there's whatever. It's close enough. But see, hard cider. He could be a really good hard cider. He could be an Angry Orchard. Okay. Just right there. He's not a White Claw. No, he's a little bit more sophisticated than that. And of course, they're like, we only drink Bud Light.
I like how you've categorized almost all alcoholic beverages in a matter of 2 minutes. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
But you see what I'm saying, though,
I
right?
understand. Yes, it's like familiarity. I get it. But I think that's what it is. And people might think I'm crazy for that. It's like, I know who Jay White is. Like, of course you do. You're on the internet. You're part of the internet wrestling community. Do a lot of WWE fans, will they look at him and know who he is?
They should.
I don't think a lot would, because it's kind of so far outside of the WWE scope. It wouldn't be there. That's why they had to take a lot of like the indie people. They put them through NXT in the old days, right? Because that's the way, Matt Riddle and stuff. And then they had remember when War Party debuted? The Viking Raiders. but they had a lot of Ricochet. When Ricochet happened, like, what? But a lot of people were like, I don't know who that guy is, right? Because they didn't watch the flippy spinny shit, right? The indies and stuff. So that's why they used NXT back in the day, and you're not going to do that with a guy like Jay White.
Yeah, like, they missed the boat on him, and AEW's going to reap the benefits. So, suck it, Senior McMahon. Suck it. Jay White has fangirls. Really?
Jay White is a beautiful
No.
man. We're gonna leave Jay White and his 85 abs for the time being, Heather, because hopefully we'll get a lot to talk about for that coming up here soon. Where do you want to go next? Do you want to talk about?
I mean, okay. So speaking, so I already brought up Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy and Best Friends had a really good match, really fun match against the House of Black. Really enjoyed that. There's not a whole lot to really go over with that guy, just to be honest. It's just a fun match. But I do want to talk about the women's match, Jamie Hayter versus Riho.
This match I didn't time everything. I think they got the most time match-wise of the night. It's close.
Yeah,
it's close to the main.
Yeah,
close, but I mean, they also covered a full commercial break as well. But I mean, they got a good amount of time. Could have done 2 matches, Tony, but still, just saying.
Yes, they could have. And this match again was just it was Jamie and Riho. Jamie did have Britt. Ruby Soho was not out there.
Hey, Ruby. She was on a promo after the match. It was fine. I got to see my Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby.
Yeah. I just want to make sure you got your.
Oh, I was going to get it. Don't worry. It will
happen.
But
no, dude. This match was so good. Like, again, I love Riho. She just needs to be a part of something.
Yeah.
And she went back to her white gear. I like her better in her black gear, but that's just me.
Well, that's the heel nature of you in general. You prefer.
I know. I prefer dark things like my heart.
The match was surprisingly straightforward and just a solid women's wrestling match. There was no beef with it. There was no nothing. There was no shenanigans. Kind of refreshing, And the crowd was into it. My God, Jamie Hayter's so over. God, Jamie is so over. Like,
it hurts how over she really is.
Like when they, like, I assume she's still gonna have the title, but whenever it comes around to Forbidden Door 2, her versus Mercedes Moné, or if by chance they pull in Stardom and do her versus Julia, please, Jesus, please, my God,
her versus Julia would be perfect, because honestly, Mercedes Moné needs to go against Britt or Saraya. I feel like it would be apropos for Saraya because she's actually the one who injured Saraya.
It would, and I really want to see Julia versus. I want to see Julia on my TV, period. But I really want to see Julia versus Jamie. That match would be
just like I want to see Dark Starlight Kid. I just want to see
God.
Dark Starlight Kid.
God, yes.
All right, so the next match, well, it wasn't really a match.
You want to talk about the next match, or do you want to talk about MJF Day?
Yeah, so right before MJF Day, I do want to talk about the for some other reason the Acclaim came out, and
they've been doing this whole will they join the JAS angle, because 2.0 is trying to get them to join, and it's
dumb.
It's something to do.
Yeah, so they have a match with them on Rampage, which actually is getting taped right now.
No, it's live this week.
Oh, is it live? Okay.
Yeah, because they're doing Rampage live in Rhode Island, doing Rampage live, followed up by Battle of the Belts 6.
That's right. Which a belt has never dropped on Battle of the Belts, just for all those at home. Other than the one time when Cody was not there because he had COVID.
Yeah,
that one doesn't count.
That's going to be my one argument about Battle of the Belts. If they want to make it, they got to drop a belt on it so that makes people want to watch Battle of the Belts more. Especially because it's Friday night at 10 o'clock, right? It's like, give it a little bit more stakes.
But fun fact, JAS does not stand for the Jericho Appreciation Society. It stands for Just Acclaim Scissoring.
Your weekly dosage of Acclaim, just because you can't not have them on TV.
Absolutely.
MJF Day.
MJF, go for it.
Let's go. MJF Day. The crowd was it's such a weird multiversal thing whenever there's a Long Island show, which they're doing quite often. Okay. MJF is the most over man in wrestling. When there's that, he is the hero of heroes. He is, he is Captain America and Superman, and just it's wonderful because it's so freaking weird. And the crowd was, you're right, Heather, the crowd was hilarious during this. First of all, they opened up with a big band, and MJF, full white tuxedo with his scarf, singing Pennies from Heaven, like the entirety of Pennies from Heaven.
Yeah. It was insane. And like Heather was saying, that there was an ADD chant, which...
Yeah. Oh my God, the chants were,
yes.
There's an ADD chant. He was talking about an old teacher he had, they were saying
stupid bitch
chant. There was a lot of guys that were chiming up randomly. You could, the mic was picking up a lot of like random, like Long Islanders yelling out certain things. So, they had like the city administrator or whatever the hell it's called out there for.
He got booed so
yeah,
hard.
I think that was some shoot going on right there.
Yeah, people don't like him.
People don't like him, but he gave him a better, bigger key, and he did the whole thing, and it was good fun and shtick. Like I said, it's so interesting because, like I said, everywhere else, MJF is MJF. He gets the right reaction you would expect. But here, it's completely 180. It's kind of like, even back in like the whole Montreal Screwjob and around that time, because, the Hart Foundation was all super heel and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But they had the Canada shows, and they were like World War II heroes returning home after, VE Day. And it was... It's always interesting, so it was good fun. But it ends with Jungle Boy disguising himself in the band, jumping him, and you have, Sammy's coming out for his match, and it's inevitable. As much as I know that this is the long-term play, I don't know. I'm just kind of glad that they're getting this out of the way, right?
Agreed. I'm already over it, just to be honest with you.
Yeah. It doesn't really excite me. Him versus Ricky excites me. Him versus Jay White really freaking excites me now, right?
Yeah.
Adam Cole, Kenny Omega. I don't know. CM Punk.
I want that. I've said that. I think that's printing money, but that's not going to happen by the time.
I don't know.
You never know. Like,
especially with Vince back in charge, there's a 0% chance that CM Punk goes back to WWE. So either he's done with wrestling again, takes his ball and runs home and bitches and moans for another 8 years, or he does the smart thing and makes up, bucks up, sits down, comes to him. All of them need to be grown-ass adults. Is what they need to do. I agree. If I was telling you, I'd lock them all in a room and say, I'm not going to cut. This door won't open for at least an hour. So you can kill each other or you can talk. I'll be back in 60 minutes. See ya. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No excuse.
So after that, you had Sammy's match. What'd you think of Sammy's match with Commander?
Okay. As much as I love me Commander, I love me Lucha craziness, this match felt way too scripted.
It sucked. I'm sorry.
It was not.
I was honestly hoping, but this is so great. I'm like, I hated it.
And I don't know if it's just a matter of matching up, because Commander versus Hio was Lucha, porn.
Yeah.
It was so good,
But Commander get on the corner and run across, but he'd take like 10 seconds. Like,
he's like waiting for Sammy to get lined up, or just,
then he goes, like, dude, come on now.
Telegraphing his everything. I mean, he's got the moves, but it just, and Sammy could do these matches too, which is the thing that kills me about him. As much as you bitched about Sammy, the one thing you said he's always got, in-ring ability.
Wrestle. Then the one thing I say he doesn't got, they gave him a goddamn microphone. Yes, I don't care. Boo me all you want. I'm the other 4 pillars. I'm the next heavyweight champion. No, you're not. Not even close. And then the whole thing, like, you had to go through this and that. Like, It's like you hooked onto Chris Jericho's coattails for the past 4 years. How's that different?
I mean,
But whatever. I digress. I guess we're just idiot marks who just don't pay attention.
it. Like I said, I get the whole 4-pillar thing. I'm glad they're getting it out of the way. I feel like he's just like throwing against the wall to seeing if it's going to stick or not. Because if it's not, you got to take these other guys and do something else with them. Specifically Darby. Darby, lo and behold, Darby might be the one that kind of like sticks around long term with MJF, right? In and out.
Yes, you are correct. I don't want to talk about it.
But that might not be a bad thing, okay?
No, he sells merch. He's good for the company. I just can't stand him.
He can put on a good match if he wants to.
Good luck getting him to.
His last match against MJF was fantastic.
Yeah, because probably MJF ran it. So you're right. Okay.
Still,
but
it was amazing, and it was.
But him as a champion is a joke, though.
Right, and
that's the problem.
I hear you, but our friend Heather is 100% right. Of the three, he's the best option. Jungle Boy's not ready yet.
She gets it.
Jungle Boy's not ready yet. Sammy,
I'm sorry. It's JBJP.
Okay, all right. Jack Perry is not ready yet. I'm not. You can go all you want with that. I'm not going the acronym route with that. I'm sorry.
JBJP.
Sammy, there's just some disconnect. Something's not really clicking there. But you can do other things with Sammy, and it's fine, right? Darby is a draw. The merch flies off the shelves. The girls love him. He can put on a good match, and if he doesn't talk, fantastic. He could be this version of AEW. If you're taking the Attitude Era compilation, I said this before, he could be the Undertaker-esque thing, right? Or maybe the old WCW Sting, who didn't say a damn word, just,
That's what they're grooming him to be.
And that's fine, but you don't have to keep him in the forefront either of everything. But coming in, coming out, cool, right? The play is still Ricky, I think. It's got to be Ricky.
You would hope. Or Omega.
Or Jay White.
Or Jay White, absolutely. Him and his 29.5 abs. All right. So after this, you had Hook versus Ethan Page. And Ethan Page came out with Matt Hardy and
Cassidy,
thank you. Isaiah Cassidy comes out. It's whatever. Actually, it was going. I mean, even though it was like 6-minute match, Hook and Ethan were kind of going at it. Then Isaiah Cassidy came up and distracted the ref, and Ethan Page is grabbing the belt, and here comes Matt Hardy, takes the belt from him, and then smacks him in the face, and allows Hook to get the win. So it's like.
And then it was him and Isaiah both leave. Yeah,
like it was a plan from both of them.
It's interesting. I want to see where they're going with that, because this is amazing. This is one of the longer stories they've been running in AEW.
Right?
The whole Matt Hardy indebted servitude to Ethan Page and whoever. It was Andrade's, and then it was Rush's family. And now it's owned by Stokely Hathaway. He's finally. I don't know, but it was not that great, but it was entertaining a little bit. So
it was. So then you're gonna get a Matt Hardy Ethan Page match, which I'm all for, because I love to see that.
Yeah, but there is a rematch, Ethan Page and Hook on Rampage, which I don't really know where that's going. But
either do I.
Weird shenanigans might happen. Tony Khan's big announcement was after that. Okay.
Yes.
We've talked about in the past Tony Khan's major announcements being right?
Oh, you mean like All Access?
Exactly, right? Every once in a while he slips one in there. Oh, by the way, I just bought Ring of Honor. Wait, what? He does one of those things, and it's like, what were you thinking going into tonight with a major announcement? Did you have any expectation, or were you like?
I mean, I've become so numb to his major announcements. Literally, I was like, okay, he's gonna tell us we got a new TV show. He's gonna tell us that, Rampage is gonna be 2 hours, something like that.
Something
Nothing
like
that's
that.
major.
Okay.
Nothing major. And he got us.
He got us for sure. First of all, Nigel McGuinness, who was introduced actually at Supercard of Honor as part of the announce team for AEW and everything, which I love Nigel McGuinness. God, his voice he's so good.
Oh yeah, it's buttery smooth.
Oh my God, just that sharp British wit on him. Oh God, I love Nigel. So the announcement was pontificating, and it was actually Tony talking this time instead of him just turning it over to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Tony talking, and he was pontificating about 5 years ago. All in, there's this event, independent wrestling event, proof of concept started by 4 guys, by the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Cody Rhodes. That all in, and it was a major success and led to all this. So I am bringing back AEW All In.
Yeah, the first ever AEW All In
Pay-per-view, right?
Mm-hmm.
In London, England, Sunday, August 27th. Then he kicked it over to Adam Cole, who had a cherry to put on top of this Sunday.
He did not blink during the whole promo.
Tony's got anxiety stuff. It's fine. It's whatever.
He's got something, man. It's creepy.
He kicked it over to Adam Cole. Why don't you do the Adam Cole part? So to put that cherry on top of this Sunday.
Yes, it is at Wembley Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. Wembley
freaking stadium.
Yes.
Like the scope of this announcement is big. Like not only is it their European debut, their English debut, right? Another pay-per-view on the books, which we talked about this previously, 4 pay-per-views. Well, they actually have 5. Well, now they have 6,
Well, do they though? And that's the question I have for you, because that is suspiciously
close to
around the same time as All Out.
I mean, you're talking about 3 weeks away, right? Because it's August 27th, and All Out is usually around Labor Day,
which is the next weekend.
Oh, it's the next weekend.
You're not going to put 2 pay-per-views that close together.
It doesn't look like we'll be going to Chicago on Labor Day.
Does not look like we're going to Chicago for Labor Day.
I don't know though, man. Well,
and they've got they're getting super international, like Forbidden Doors in Toronto. Now they're going to London, England. I mean, next stop is gonna be Japan, which I'm for.
Forbidden Door 3 will probably be in Tokyo.
That'd be perfect.
Tokyo Dome.
Yeah. Tokyo Dome. Mm-hmm.
Oh. You're gonna need extra miles to help us get on that trip, Jamie.
yeah. Dude, I would seriously consider flying to Japan.
I would love if I would love. We'll talk about that if it happens. But
the wife would kill me. But I'm going to Japan for a week. Bye bye. Love you.
Bring
you
her.
Got the kids.
We got. Okay. Wow. We're getting fancy booking ourselves in places that we shouldn't be.
100%.
So, I don't know. This is. Major announcement actually was a major announcement, and I'm like, I love them bringing back the All In as well, right? Because that's what started the company, right? I like it, especially if they don't use it on an annual basis, a pop up thing, right? This event is going to be massive. Wembley Stadium. I can't remember. It was SummerSlam. It was the British Bulldog main event. Remember? What was that? SummerSlam '94.
96.
God. Yeah. SummerSlam 96 was at Wembley Stadium, and it was 90,000 people or something stupid like that?
Wait, no. SummerSlam 92. SummerSlam 92.
Was it 92?
Summer.
I was thinking 94.
Hold on.
96 was
okay.
96 was firmly in the Attitude Era, and this is pre-Attitude.
SummerSlam 90.
Thank you, Google, for sponsoring this part of the podcast. We do appreciate your open and free search engine. So much better than Hotbot. Y'all remember Hotbot?
Wembley. Yeah, 92 is when Wembley. I have the t-shirt. I have the t-shirt that I wear.
Yeah, you do, actually. But yeah, they had 90,000 people there. It was...
Yeah, official attendance was 80,355. Disputed.
Well, it's WWE numbers, but no, it's Wembley, and it's kicking off. This is what I found. Kicking off 100 years of Wembley Stadium. It's like the stadium's 100 like centennial, and it's like, dude, this is a big swing, and I love it.
Oh, same. Hardcore same. Like, dude, like the possibilities of what they'll put on that show are going to be insane. Hence why I don't think there's going to be an All Out.
I didn't think it was that close. I was thinking it's like a few weeks out, and they're gonna like, okay, we'll figure something. It's like, no, a week later, yeah, there's no way. Or they might shuffle some dates around. We'll see what happens with all that. Who knows? But that show will be unbelievably bonkers. I'm calling it right now. Jay White, Will Ospreay. Just throwing that out there. Just because. You had Blackpool Combat Club, who got upgraded from doing a promo to coming out and beating up local talent, and then doing a promo. So there was that.
Yeah, there were 3, but I only saw 2. Like for most of them. Like,
they beat the living piss out of them. This is
I know, it's like, where did he go? So then after,
I was again. Our friend Jamie put a comment out there in chat, and she is 100% right. You know, for those of you listening to the replay here, she said, I said to keep the belt on Jamie until then. Imagine the pop. Yes. That pop would be redonkulous.
Or they have her drop it, and it's the chase again for her.
To get it back from Ruby. Hey, Ruby.
Big payoff there. Against Saraya.
Well, they did a promo with the Outcasts as well. That would even be, oh my God. But they did a promo with the Outcasts as well. That doesn't matter. One of them is going to get the title, is what they're going after. So that's how they're going to keep this kind of like going along here.
And Tony's an Aussie, right?
She's an Aussie, so that's an extension of.
It's Jamie's time in Wembley.
I think Jamie Saraya at Wembley that'd be maybe a little too much fan service, but it would be.
That would blow the proverbial roof off.
Let's get back. So Blackpool Combat Club beat up some local talents, and then Bryan Danielson came out, and so as much as we dog about Sammy, Bryan, just gotta love Bryan on the mic, you know.
Fickle.
Yeah, Fickle has now been replaced by Amateur. Everybody's an amateur except for them. In all of wrestling.
Amateur's the new Fickle. That's so good. Yes.
I was thinking Fickle. Like we were both Fickle, you know, but it sticks. When he says it, you're like first like, I don't know if I like this. You don't hate it. It'll continue to go on. You'll be fine with it because the man can deliver. Sammy needs to take notes. Hanger comes out and he's all alone and stupidly tries to fight him. He gets the shit beat out of him. And Bryan pulls out a screwdriver. He said during his time off, he was at home and he was teaching his kids about repairing the house. And sometimes you need to repair the house. And we need to repair the house that is the AEW roster because it's been built up by amateurs. And then they, hit him with the screwdriver. Once again, blood and guts. I'm calling it, guys. They're setting up blood and guts with these guys. That's my prediction.
I think you're right, and it won't be a pay-per-view, unfortunately.
he is dumb cowboy, but that's also kind of his shtick.
Yeah. There's no Dark Order. There's no Elite for him. He's all by himself.
So sets it all up for the main event, which we were dreading. Jamie was especially dreading going into tonight. FTR versus the Guns. Title versus AEW career. So
I had so much damn anxiety for this match. I'm not gonna lie. But hats off to the Guns coming out to Many Men by 50 Cent. Like, that was cold as fuck. I'm sorry. Like, they came out lights off, and then they had the panoramic. They're wearing the all white, pseudo Shawn Michaels gear. Dude, they look sick.
I mean, for what it's worth,
swagger.
For what it's worth, and we've said the Guns are a future, this and that, they are packaging and actually getting the Guns prepared. They're doing the right things for them career-wise. You could tell their dad let's shoot for a second. Their dad is definitely helping steer them in the right ways to kind of build it. They looked main event tonight. They weren't just in the main event. They looked it. They are packaged that way. They are presented that way with the entrance and the camera. They're good-looking guys. They can wrestle. They've kind of gotten away from the comedy shtick, which has helped them a lot, right? We saw them at All Out 21 at the side party, and they were just two frat boys over there to dunk tank with their dad fucking around, right?
It was awesome. It was great.
They were cool as hell. Colton was awesome. Colton was really cool. He kept, because I'm wearing a blues hat, so he kept like pointing me out to like Chicago people. Look at a blues fan there, But it was Austin, whichever the shorter one was.
Yeah, it's a shorter one. Yeah.
But no, I love the way that they're not pushovers like they used to be, and they're not presenting them that way. And I think that does them and the tag team division service.
I think tonight they're no longer ass boys.
Ooh.
They're ass men. They're ass men.
They're ass men. All right, talk about this match, because you did almost have a couple palpitations throughout it. I know.
Yeah, so it was actually done beautifully. The match itself, very technical, with lots and lots of attempts to get DQ'd, cheat. Like, they're trying everything they could to ensure FTR was going to lose. And like every time they were about to attempt something, I fell for it. It was terrible. Like, I love the fact that they were going for the whole DQ route, like like low blow in front of the ref, in front of Paul Turner, and begging him to disqualify them so that they lose, but they don't lose the title, so FTR's gone, right? And it's like, it's such a witty way to write that match. Yeah, it was very, very, very well done. It wasn't as long as I was expecting, to be honest. I was expecting it to be a much longer match, but it was very, very to the point. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, FTR found a way to win, so I think that signifies that they are here to stay in the AEW.
Told you. Especially with Vince taking control over the past weekend, solidified it.
Yep, AEW.
So, and long play, FTR back having the titles on their belts. We know the Elite is tied up with the BCC. Something coming up at Double or Nothing. But it's blood and guts, or what'd you predict? A elimination match?
Yeah, some kind of eliminator match for sure.
Whatever it may be. They're tied up with that through Double or Nothing at least, right? But I think you got All In, FTR, Bucks finally happening at Wembley. Dude.
I'm in.
Dude.
Yeah, sign me up for
that's what you want, right? That's the play. Especially with this whole Wembley and All In announcement. Oh. I don't know
Jay
if they're
and
going to
Juice as a tag. That's a great idea.
I think they could. I mean, the tag team, honest to God, when you look at it, the tag team division is not super deep, right?
Well, they've just lost Top Flight, who is getting a big push too.
Right, and the Private Party's been on the sidelines because Mark Quinn's been out injured for the longest time, right? For
the longest time.
You got Lucha Bros, who are the ROH tag champs, so they're kind of here and there, whatever. But that's more ROH stuff. But so you got the Guns, you got the Acclaimed, you got 2.0, but 2.0 is almost a side act sort of thing. So you got the Guns, got the Acclaimed, you got FTR. I mean, where else do you go with that?
Bear Country even around anymore?
Not really. I think they do like some dark here and there. They're contract stuff.
What happened to the Varsity Blondes?
I think it's the same thing. I haven't seen Grip, and I don't even know how long.
We forgot his name.
We forgot his name. We 100% forgot his name. We were like, the guy, the tall, blonde, looks like Jungle Boy guy. Who is that?
Like the real Jungle Boy. Yeah. Yeah. But they have to do the payoff with Ricky though. So they're going to be out of it, and I still think FTR and Guns, like they could run that back.
I think that's one of those
20
things where
times
they,
right now.
I think one of the things where they could do tag with Jay and Juice. I think Jay White's versatile enough. You can do him tag or single or have him in and out, whatever. That could change from week to week. It doesn't matter. Jay White he's your marquee name anyway. Who cares, if he's with Juice or not? Juice is on the sideline.
Aussie Open, who is a free agent.
Well, there's Aussie Open's free agent. Will Ospreay, I think, is technically a free agent, but there's no way he's not re-signing with New Japan.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Unless New Japan's going to lose all their non-Japanese talent.
To AEW, like, oh yeah, we got this working relationship with you guys. We keep taking our talent.
Well, maybe that's the ploy too. It's like, well, you guys, they want to work in America, but we got a working relationship with you, so you take them, and we'll still have them a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Crossover.
Or they're with us, and then they just do stuff with you guys, and then you can send some of your people over to us. Fair. We get Mercedes Moné. First pick.
First pick.
Okada.
Easy. Oh yeah, you're so predictable. We'll see how they go with this here. We've got plenty of time to fantasy book. It's not until August, so all in until August. I hope to God it does it for several reasons. One, it keeps FTR front and center with its belts on their hands for a while. And you can run them in some different stuff here, right? I'm sure the Acclaimed are going to have another shot at the belts here. There's going to be an angle with the Acclaimed coming up. You could do Jay and Juice. It's a good thing to keep them occupied for a bit. And the matches. Oh, God, the matches would be so good, right? Okay, all right.
Just hit me. Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door. Bullet Club versus Bullet Club.
Well, there you go. Why did that's so in front of our faces? How did we not even see that?
You needed Mark Stradamus.
We needed Mark Stradamus to see it.
Happens.
Thank you for making 2 appearances tonight, Mark Stradamus. We do appreciate you stopping by.
Anytime.
Okay.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
We will be back. We didn't have Carl's Jr. They're Hardys out here, dude. Come on. We'll be back
Mark
next week.
Is above the Midwest.
It's been a week. We're going to end it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining. Thank you for chiming in. We do appreciate you guys giving us some of your time. We'll be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll tell you about how our trip to Denver went. We're going to see Maki Ito live.
Ito-chan!
We're also going to see Effie again. It's the 4th city now we've seen Effie in. He's going to think we're a stalker. I love it.
Cool.
Plus our friend Heidi, we get to see her go against
And
Ito-chan.
Austin.
Austin
Yes.
will be there as well. I think Anaya's on the card. I believe
Anaya
so.
is on the card, and then he's coming back to Kansas City the next night.
I know. But we're going to make a weekend out of it. We're going to do some cool stuff. So we'll talk about it. Let you guys know how our trip went. We'll let you know how that was. It's definitely worthwhile to check it out if you're in the Denver area. We've been wanting to go to this promotion for a while. It's a combination live wrestling / comedy show.
Yeah.
Everybody says this is a fantastic. I mean, the wrestling's been spot on. We've seen a lot of matches online. You can Google it. You can go to YouTube and look it up. Great matches, but the event's gonna be great. And I think that just the moral of the story: wherever you are, support your local wrestling, people. Let's do it.
Damn Skippy.
Drive a little bit like us if you have to. It's worth it. It's good.
Maybe not 9 hours. But a 4-hour drive, that's not that hard.
Right. Well, thankfully we're gaining an hour on the way there, so we're not going to. Because that's my one worry about going there. It's like we're driving the day of the show. It is anything, but we're gaining an hour, so we're good.
Yeah. So yeah, we're leaving at 7. If it's 10 hours, I'll get us there at 4 their time.
Right. Which there'll be probably some extra stops in there,
Well, yeah. But that gives us 30 minutes of whatever.
That's what I'm saying. We can stop and do a stretch, stop and do this. Because I don't know if anybody listening that's local has probably known this, but if you're not, you're from wherever, you never have driven Western Kansas / Eastern Colorado, mostly Western Kansas, you're lucky. It is
not a whole lot there.
There's nothing. People talk about parts of Texas and Arizona, and I go, oh yeah, I give you Western Kansas.
Yes, I raise you.
Just flat, nothing. Like, there's not even a tree. It's just nothing. Anywho.
Yes.
But we'll also talk about, we'll see what happens. I think they're in Milwaukee next week. Nothing's been announced. They got a lot of stuff going on this Friday with live Battle of the Belts, live Rampage. I know Jericho was challenged by Keith Lee, which, okay, that's...
Please.
Give me
Yes.
Keith Lee on my TV. And oh my God, it's like, you forget how big Keith Lee is. Like, physically big. Like, he leaned into Jericho, and his skull is like twice as big as Jericho's skull.
Yes. It's like a bulldog, like a bulldog head.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening once again. We do appreciate your time. Jamie, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 3 words for you. Just a claim scissoring.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.